Hey guys, today is a good day. It's Coach KJ and I'm here and I'm with Jamie. And Jamie was telling me about my book and I love it because she's very, very honest. So Jamie, tell me what you were thinking. You said when you first opened the book, and guys, I cut her off because I didn't want to hear. I wanted to hear with you at the same time. So we're learning at the same time. But go ahead. What did you hear?
Yeah, so when I first opened the book, I was a little shocked. I was like, oh, it's a book, and it's something that's tangible, something you can actually do, but it's very thought provoking. You know, sometimes you get those self-help books and it's like, do this, and you close the book and you go, oh, okay, I'll continue reading the next page, and you don't actually do it. I know I don't all the time, but it's one of those things. If you put the book down and when you close the book, you want to go, you know what, I do need to go write down what my strengths. Thinking about that, like I thought about that for like 10 minutes, and then I thought about it, kind of thought went away, then it came back to me, you know, and then it's like, you know what, go get that book and go get that paper and actually write down what your strengths are. Like, it makes sense. It makes so much sense. Super thought-provoking, very engaging. I read a lot of self-help books, a lot of nutrition books, health books.
Yes, Lord have mercy. I'm learning so much about nutrition and I am way off.
Yeah, all of it. So this is one of those aspects. You know, I've been on a healing journey for over 10 years. So a lot of things that I read, they're very repetitive, and it's almost not. Some of it is new information. It's new information, and then the other is like, this is so simple. I can give this to like a middle schooler, and I can say, here, read this, do this. Just think about it. You know, it feels like a high school assignment or something, but you know, for
like
some reason,
fun high school assignment.
A fun high school assignment.
Okay.
A fun high school assignment. It's that thing where, you know, that thought kept coming back to me because I, you know, wanted to move on to the next thing of what I had to do in the house. And it was like, what are your strengths? Because you would think that you would easily be able to call it out. And then you go back to every single interview you ever been to. You go back to like your childhood, and it makes you think about like when you were a teenager. And then you go, simple as that. But I did not finish the book just yet. But thus far, it's a really, I don't even want to say it's a good book. It is a very helpful book because that's exactly what it is.
But it's helpful and good.
Yeah, it's good. No, my thing is I didn't.
Don't take away my good.
No, listen. I say I don't want to call it a good book because it's more than just good. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, something can be good, you know, but if you don't take anything from it, you know, if it's not like, you can read a book and you can go about your day and you will completely forget about it. But the books that I genuinely love and adore that I never forget, there will always be books where I can call out inserts from the book. You know, or if I can't call out inserts, there's something that I read in the book throughout the day and I'm like, oh, what? You're doing that thing? Don't do that thing. You know, pull yourself back. You know, I'm still working towards, you know, being a more whole person. Still working very, very so much hard and dealing with other humans and how they react. Well, not how they react, but like, let's say if there's
they just don't do right. They just don't do right.
Situation and you're just like, wait, am I crazy? I'm not the crazy one. But to just know, like, it helps in that aspect where, like, I've been known in the past where I've responded very rudely. Let's just say that. It's one of those, you know, things I've been working on, you know, for the past 2 years or so. And this is one of those books where you're like, where were you? I needed this. You know, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect it.
Wow.
But I did not go, because usually if I see a self-help book, I'm like, oh, another self-help book. But I did not go into that. And I think the reason why I didn't go into that thought was because we had the conversation before I even picked up the book and read it. So I was like very interested in seeing what it was. It's a very informative book. It is a very good book. And
what about the quotes? What do you think of the quotes? Do they help?
Those quotes do help. Some of those quotes I've definitely heard. You all probably have too. But when you read it after, you know, whatever it is that you just read within the book, the quotes are very fitting and it ties everything together. That's the good thing about those quotes. And I think, you know, it brings you back to some of the things you've heard before, you've seen before, you read before, but it's in a different light because it is explained in a very different way.
So one of the persons said that it takes very complex material and makes it easier for you to understand it.
That is exactly what I was about to say. You can literally give this book to your middle school child, your high school child, yourself, your boss, someone who's probably, I don't want to use that word, but someone who probably isn't the brightest, you could probably give them that book and they can go, oh, well, I see what I did there. There's like this, she explains it in a way where you will see yourself in what she's explaining. You'll see yourself in what she's explaining. And that's if you are open and honest with yourself. I'm going to say that first. If you are not open with yourself, if you're not honest about yourself and who you are and how you are genuinely, then it can't help you much, just like anything, because it's all a part of growth.
But do you think it can get you to that point where you understand more of who you are? Like, do you think that
reading it? No,
like,
it definitely can. It definitely can. Like, once again, just the first few chapters that I read, I'm looking and I'm reading and I'm like, girl, that's you. Like, you can fix that. You can work on that some more. And it's not always the best feeling when you have to go inside yourself and tell yourself the bad things about yourself and, what you can work on and what you can fix. But if you don't do that, there's no way you can fix it.
Right.
So that book definitely does that.
Would you say it helps you to? No, it's been go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read a book, and I'm like, you know what? That's kind of you. You can work on that a little bit. You can fix that. You can fix it. So and then the way that she breaks certain terminology down, certain actions of people. The stories that she gave, they are so relatable. They're very relatable. It's very tangible. You can understand it. It's pretty much, I think it's one of those books where it can be used like universally. It doesn't matter your age, your race, your culture, what part of the world you live in, if it's in other languages. But
it is actually.
But you definitely can, everyone can take something from it, like in terms of growth, self-growth. I will say this, don't take this book and try to use it to point out someone else's problems or issues, but you use it personally for yourself, for your own healing, for your own growth. And that's the only way the book will work for you. It's for you.
Can you use the book to find the beauty in other people? Like, the stuff that's in the book, does it help you find greater attributes in other people? Say like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I got it. Like, I can appreciate this more in this person.
It actually helps you understand it helps you understand people in general and also see the beauty in them. So if there's a certain person who acts a certain type of way, or they respond a certain type of way to certain things, you go, oh, but that's the point, but that's the problem, that's a trigger for them. And we all process things and interpret things in like our own minds from our point of view. And this book also helps you give like that, almost like a insight to someone else's mind. Those short stories. Yeah. It gives you an insight to like other people's minds and why they are and how they are. Not saying that it is okay, but I've always tried to come from a place of understanding, and understanding is what grounds me. Understanding is what makes me, calm down in those moments where I want to kind of spaz out a little bit. Because
I want to spaz out, yes, but I'm not going to. I want to spaz out, but I'm not going to.
So that's what that book does. It helps you get an idea of how someone else is. Like if someone has a higher expectation of you, but a lower expectation of someone else, that is because they understand, I expect more from you because you know better, so I expect you to do better. This person does not know any better, so I expect them to act of the lower vibration. Mm-hmm. And that books, help you understand and get an insight to that as well. I think that's a big one. Because we all have an issue like, why are they like this? You have to understand, we all understand, but that book definitely helps you grasp that concept in simplest terms.
I love it. Guys, listen, I'm super duper excited. This is the first review that I've gotten on the book from somebody who read the book, and it's positive. So I'm like, yeah. I mean, first video, like on somebody who read the book. So I'm kind of pumped, kind of excited. No, I'm not kind of. I am really pumped and really excited. So once again, Jamie, thank you so much for your insight. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for, yes. Would you encourage someone to buy the book?
I'm actually going to get a couple for my friends.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
So,
Look at that.
yeah, I have a couple of school teacher friends and, people that work for certain businesses, and they can use it.
So you think it'd be good for school teachers?
School teachers, if you are in, you own your own business. Okay, anything when you are dealing with other people and that is your thing on a daily, that book is for you. But I highly recommend it for teachers, because one thing, you all are dealing with other people's children. We don't understand the household that they come from. We don't understand their background. We don't understand how they're processing things or how their household is processing things. So you as a teacher dealing with all these different personalities, all these different cultures,
in one
all
room,
these different households in one room, and sometimes in one room during different periods throughout the day. And I can understand how that could be quite frustrating, but not only for you to get the understanding from the child's perspective, but also for a peace of mind for yourself, because you can take those same very teachers and apply it to yourself.
Wow.
And maybe y'all could come up and, at the PTA and kind of bring up some of the information or use some of the activities in the book for PTA. Like I said, once again, it's pretty easy, pretty tangible. I can also say this, it's a good idea. Some of those activities are good for icebreakers as well. For y'all with companies that are like in team building and all that good stuff, it's a very good, they have some very good activities in there for icebreakers.
Excellent. Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Forward, it is tangible. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Kindle if you download the book, and it's also available on Audible. So we've got all three versions of the book available for you. And hold on one second. My Vanna White. But anyway, thank you so much for everything, Jamie. You are a blessing. And
thank you. No, you are a blessing.
Aw. All right, guys.
Let's look.
Take care.